Hi YouTube. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Frank Hernandez. I am on YouTube. I have my own channel called Steady Hand. This is just a different channel along those lines because I've noticed in the past couple of days that I've been wanting to just turn a camera on, have a microphone, and finally let out how I feel about sports because I don't get to do that a lot. And yeah, these are not the best looking, and yeah, they're not the greatest quality, but you know what? I'm gonna keep on powering through just because this is what I like to do. Anyway, on that note though, one thing I wanted to cover, and I've been thinking about covering it a lot, but I think it's time that I now do a proper video as I learn some more information. It's after watching a quick highlight and a brief synopsis on the Battle of the Platforms boxing event that's going to be happening. Now, I've been watching YouTube boxing ever since it started, as a lot of people did. It's still brand new. It only started back in 2017. And even then, that was only in the UK. It's still trying to grab ground, but it's grabbing ground a lot in the past. And I've been there to watch. I watched the KSI Joe Weller fight, and I even watched both KSI Logan Paul fights, paying for most of them. So I've been watching this for a while. And when I saw this press conference for this Battle of the Platformers, oh boy, was this exciting. Not. It was not exciting. I'm sorry, I have a lot of problems with this, and it really angers me to the core, because it fucking sucked. And I think a lot of people know that too, especially if they're watching the entire thing. Like, yeah, Austin McBroom and Bryce Hall got into a fight after. If all you're there is to see fights, then don't watch press conferences. Just wait until the actual thing. If you like the fact that people shove the shit out of each other and get mad, then just wait until the actual fight. But when it comes to the actual information in the press conference, it was pretty dull. It was pretty dull. It was pretty sad. And you could tell the people who actually knew what they were doing have been in press conferences before, or was the main fight. Everybody else just was bland. They were honest, which you are never supposed to be honest in a press conference. I think about a good half of them, when asked why are they doing this fight, said they were doing it for money. And that to me just hurts, because like there's so much more you could be doing this for. Why are you saying money? Why can't you actually hype up this fight? There was no successful push to hype up the fight from anybody else besides the main fighters and the people who have fought before, and that is Deji and Anderson Gibb. There was no push to hype it. It just sounded like two people on opposite sides just talking to each other. Nobody was excited, nobody was invigorated, nobody was talking smack, talking shit. There was none of it. It was all quiet, and it was dull, and it was gross, and it was cringe, it was disgusting. I fucking hated it. I hated it a lot. And it was just so sad to see. Like I said, the only two people that actually gave it, the four people gave effort. It was 3 on Team YouTube and 1 on Team TikTok. Deji and Anderson Gibb both have been on this before. They have had press conferences before in the very early days of YouTube boxing. They know how this works. So, obviously, they were able to promote the fight. They talked smack. Deji went after people who weren't even involved in the fight, which just got the room even more antsy. Everybody was yelling at each other. That worked. That worked. Gibb, I wouldn't say was the best, but he at least talked smack. He said a lot of times in that fight about he's going to beat his opponent. He's going to crap out his opponent. Whatever he was. Anderson Gibb gave effort in that press conference. Austin McBroom, Bryce Hall, they're the lead fight. If they don't sell it, then nobody's going to buy a pay-per-view. But when it comes to everybody else, they just didn't sell it. The excuses and the reasonings that I heard was gross. It was disgusting, and it was nothing that the sport of boxing won. I'm a scooter kid, and he's a skateboarder. We don't like each other. Huh? What the fuck does that have to do with your fight? Are you shitting me? That's all you got. There was no beef there. There was nothing there. Nothing to excite me. Nothing to Slam my money on the table and say, give me a ticket. Nothing there. What made it worse as well was fucking Fousey and Keem. I don't like Fousey, but I like Keem. And he angered me. And the reason why I'm making this is because he just announced today on Drama Alert that he just got brought back and hired to commentate during the fight. They fucking sucked. They sucked the atmosphere out with their questioning and their reasoning behind questions. It was hurtful. Nothing was discussed about their boxing abilities. A lot of them got asked the same question, which is, why are you even doing this fight? Keem literally stared at Austin McBroom and asked him, what's going on June the 12th? Why are we doing this? Like, what? Are you kidding me? Are you asking Austin McBroom, or are you asking the 5th grader who's never watched a fucking YouTube video? What the fuck was that? The questioning that entire fucking time sucked. They all sucked the atmosphere out of the fucking room because they didn't know what the hell they were doing. And it angered me to my core. It was so bad. So cringy. So messed up. The fact that they just can't get it through their skull to advertise a fight. It's all advertisement. These press conferences are advertising. There's a reason why Mayweather versus McGregor was so high on the list of pay-per-view buys. Because not only was it a great hyped up fight, not only did people love the personality and love the enthusiasm both fighters off this whole tour, they did press conference tours. They went city by city and even into other countries and promoted the fight. And people loved it. There was smack talk, props, confrontation. Everything you would want in a press conference was there. Literally the two biggest mouths in freaking martial arts, in boxing, UFC, what have you. The two biggest mouths in combat sports were on the same stage. Like, that should get you excited as fuck. But no. Unfortunately, none of them understood it. Nobody did research. And in fact, a couple of them said, I haven't started doing boxing training. Keemstar asked one of them, why aren't you doing boxing training? And in fact, asked another person, their very first question was, do you have any boxing training? Obviously not. They're doing a YouTube fight. Whole point of these YouTube fights, they're supposed to be amateurs. We're not asking them to be professionals. When it comes to two YouTubers battling each other, we're not asking them to be professionals. We're not asking them to come into this fight and give us all that they got. Well, not all that they got, but we're not asking them to come into this fight and know proper stance, footwork, and how to properly fight. We're just asking you to give it your all and give us a good event. Give us a good show. That press conference showed that that fight is going to be dull. I expect nobody besides the two main fighters to give a shit and actually take this seriously. And the fact that I didn't see that whatsoever really angered me. That I had to come on. And the reason why I'm making this video as well is because the reason that pushed me over to make this video is the fact that Keemstar just announced on Drama Alert he got hired to commentate the fight. His shitty questioning and asking a bunch of people the same fucking question over and over again is now commentating the fight. No. I'd rather get Stephen A. Smith, and everybody knows that Stephen A. Smith is horrible at combat sports too. But at least he will give me the energy and the enthusiasm I want. So no, this fight is going to be a shit show. No, I'm not pre-ordering, and I highly recommend to all of you, do not pre-order this fight and show that we want good YouTube boxing, not this. Not this shit show.